Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are at my friend's house in her garden and we are going to be planting a couple of trees, and I'm also going to be planting up some dahlias because I ran out of space, and she just bought a new house and it has a ton of space for us to grow really fun things here. So I'm so happy. I'm sad but happy that she got this place. She actually used to live right across from me and we kind of like started our gardening journey together. And, you know, it's so sad to lose a good neighbor and a good friend. But the good thing is she's 5 minutes away from our house and she has just a blank slate for us to create a beautiful, just gorgeous garden in this new area. So I'm excited to show you guys the new space. We do have a couple of trees to plant today. I think we'll see which ones we're gonna be planting up today. And then because I have a problem with having too many dahlias, you can never have too many. I brought some over to plant in her garden because she has, again, a ton of space, and I still have this is so embarrassing, but I think I have like 200, maybe 250 left that I haven't planted. And it is a little bit late in the season, but we'll talk about that and how I'm going to get these to bloom in time for us. So let me give you guys the lay of the land. Let me show you this beautiful space and then we will get planting. So wait, we're in the rhododendrons and she's like, the ones that we just you pruned out.
So we could walk under them.
Yeah, so this is my friend Christine and we're trying to find good lighting because it is really sunny.
And there's no trees here.
Yeah, there's no trees here and we're just trying to figure it out. We're on the struggle bus right now. Okay, we're both like, what are we doing? It's hot. There's a lot of things going on at my house. There's a lot of things going on at her house. And we're
I'm just looking at those
we're just
that you gave me. Claudia's plants are struggling.
There's going to be lots of plants from my garden here, and I gave them to you in the hopes that they're going to be taken care of because I was neglecting them, but
they were doing great.
Now I'm like, what? Oh my gosh, those are the hydrangeas. Yes. So anyways, we're struggling. It's that time of year where things are getting a little bit hectic, but let's walk through. I want to give them like a little lay of the land of the garden.
Okay.
And show them like an idea, like a rough estimate of what our dream is. And I'm saying ours because I've inserted myself in this journey with her. So
I accept.
Okay. So we're coming straight into the backyard. And so what is it? It's a half acre, right?
Half acre, yeah.
Half acre. So, I mean, immediately I'm like, take out the grass, let's plant flowers and trees. Like that's all I want. So the property line, it actually goes all the way to the back there. So one of the first things that we were talking about doing is like eventually a fence.
Yes.
Because it's kind of like out in the open right now. And then what is your idea? You still want to do like
we need
your garden
something
here.
tall along the fence here for some privacy, but I don't know what.
Okay.
And we're still trying to figure out the sun situation.
Yes. So that is like the most important thing when you buy a new space is like you have to know like first what's already in your yard, two, the sun. How does it rise? How does it set? That way you know exactly what to plant and you know, so you're not like struggling. But do you still want to do like the little greenhouse over here with the garden?
No,
we don't know yet.
I had an idea and now I'm back at I have
Square one.
absolutely
We
no
have
idea
no idea
what to do back here.
Okay, the dream is to eventually have a pool.
Yes.
One day, like somewhere. We don't know if it's going to be like in the center or maybe towards the back or maybe here towards the house. Here's the back of the house over here, and we still have a ton of space down there. But I guess the dream for me in this space is just to create like a wide pathway and create different garden beds, different guard rooms all throughout this entire garden. It's just going to take time.
I definitely want more spaces.
Yeah.
I want some big lawns still.
Yeah.
But I do think actually the sun stays in the middle of the property. So I think we can get more trees back there than I thought we were going to be able to.
For sure.
Because I didn't want to shade the garden area wherever that's going to be.
Exactly. And that's also something because there is so much space here. We can plant so many big trees. We got those together and you planted them last fall, correct?
Fall, yeah.
What did we plant again? So there's
Weeping Serbian spruce,
yep.
Which I don't know if they were the right choice for there, but they're going to stay there for now.
Okay.
And then I forget what that middle one's called.
That is the
Golden
Leland,
something?
yeah, Gold Rider Leland Cypress. And then
this is that Katsura that we bought too that day.
Oh, okay.
Which is doing fine in the sun, and I didn't know if it would like so much sun, but she's doing good. Well.
Where are we planting?
I don't know. I might take that one up front too.
Okay. This is the I think we got this at Bauman's, right?
Yeah.
This is the red fox. And it's, how big is it supposed to get? Do we know?
I can't remember.
Well, if I find the specs, I'll put it up.
I don't think it's huge. Maybe 35, 40.
Yeah. And it's just like really beautiful. I think we saw it and we're like, whoa,
yeah,
that is so pretty. So again, just a lot of potential. I think for me, I told Selling Christine, like big evergreens, start creating privacy. Again, eventually they will have a fence over here and then create more privacy between this neighbor and her. And just like, there's so much potential. And then even this side over here, I think, what did you guys say? You're gonna put a shed, like a woodworking shed in the front.
Up front.
Okay.
Eventually we're gonna do an expansion that probably takes up this cement slab space.
Over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we still wanna be able to drive a vehicle to the backyard.
Yep.
To get to yard debris and all that.
And this is what we started, well, they started this year. That way they like just wanted to get something in the ground to start enjoying. So I have this space here for dahlias, that space back there for dahlias, I think over there for dahlias.
Anywhere that's dirt. It's the most chaotic garden I've ever planted in my life.
This is Chaotic Gardening 101. Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Welcome to the show. And then, so this area will remain like still a path.
Just access, to the backyard.
Yep. So we'll leave like what, 15 feet?
Yeah.
About over here. And then let's show them the front and what we have planned. These are 2 trees that came from my house to her house. And I just can't wait to see them in her garden. Like, it's such a good feeling. It's like watching like your kid, like, okay, go to your aunt's house.
To help them thrive.
Yeah, they will thrive. Once we get them in the ground, they're gonna be great. Here's where the structure is going to go. And eventually they also will have a fence, right? I think for like a gate or something.
Undecided.
Okay.
Yeah, Steve would like a structure.
Yeah. Just to have like a little bit more privacy. And when people walk through, it's not just like, hey, come one, come all. No, it's trying to create that barrier and that line between their property and public property. And then in this space here, this is the area that Christine has already started to plant up. And I love a retaining wall. Like, I get so excited. So this I think is going to remain, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, okay.
For now.
Okay, so this even if you guys didn't want to do this, like, can I encourage to do like a stone? But like, don't take it away. I love it so much.
Yeah.
This maple, is this one that you grew?
From either I grew it or Mom grew it. Mom might have started it.
Okay, so Christine and I share a like sick obsession with maples, and her mom are so good about propagating little saplings. She has a ton of them. So this is one of them right here, and it's beautiful. I think this is what, a green leaf maple, I think so, yeah. Yeah.
I took it from Claudia. I dug it up before we moved.
Yeah, she did. I was like, you're not taking that tree. She's like, oh, yes, I am.
I left the other one.
She did leave the other one. And me and Serge are like, we're going to go take that tree. We're not. But anyways, the new neighbor's already there, so we can't. So, anyways, I think what we want to do today, or actually, let me show you guys the space up here and like what the idea is. And maybe, maybe I can share the sketch that you sent me.
Sure.
And show you guys kind of the idea. So this is the entryway. I think eventually what we're also thinking is extending or like just widening this path a little bit, right? Like reworking the steps over here. This is going to remain like a little bed. Now, Christine wants to be able to have cars drive up here for now, just because family members, it's a little bit harder for them to get up here. So if they're able to just drive up here for now, we're going to do that. But the goal is to extend this bed out, create a long and wide bed over here as well. So kind of like a swoop.
Kind of like a C-shaped swoop.
Yeah. And I think that'll be beautiful. And then at the end, I totally want them to get like either a gate or a fence back here too. And we have a Vanderwolf, which I think should be a staple in everybody's garden. You guys know I love this tree so much. I think we're going to try to plant that Vanderwolf today right over there. Or I think we might scooch it a little bit over. So there's a lot that needs to be done here, but it's like that dreaming phase, right? Where it's like everything is exciting. There's so much potential.
Blank slate so far.
Yeah. And it's like, I love this because I think when you first brought me here, our idea completely changed.
Yeah.
And I think your idea is gonna like completely change too. But just like the sketch that you did was so good. I was like, yes, this is like, it's coming together. And so we're gonna take it slowly, but it's gonna be beautiful. And the first thing we need to start doing is putting in the anchor pieces. So like all of the big trees, all of the things that are going to like set the tone for the garden. Okay, so we're gonna plant the Vanderwolf first, and then we'll look at my bag of dahlias, which are looking sad, but we're gonna get them planted
in this garden.
We take all the rejects, okay? We are plant savers. That's what we are.
Nowhere to go but up this year.
Yeah, that's right. You can't go down from here. You can't. You've hit rock bottom. I'm kidding. I'm gonna be the brain and the muscles today. I'm kidding. You're gonna be the brain. So I think what we want to do is move the Vanderwolf. So again, we have 2 of these in our garden. They get, what did we say, 15 to 25 feet wide.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think up to 30 feet tall. So she has the space to allow this to grow to its full size. Ours, we're pushing it. So did we say over here or a little bit back?
I think it was a little bit back. Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking for that weed that we said we're going to plant it right on top of that weed.
There's too many weeds to be able to remember.
Here or more?
No, I think that's...
Or is it here? Now, which view of it do you want? Do you like that view? Or do you want to twist it?
I have no idea. Okay. I haven't walked around her yet.
So we put the hole in the back.
I guess we can straighten her out when we plant her.
Yeah, once we plant it. We might need to stake it a little bit. It's been leaning,
yeah,
probably.
I like that side.
I like it too. All right, let's get the big boy out, the big auger. And now we're not gonna remove the grass. We're just gonna go right through it. So let's see how this goes. I mean, if anything, this is gonna be very entertaining.
Exactly.
All right, so for today, I brought a little bit of land and sea compost just to add to the hole and to top dress the tree. I'm going to use Beaverton. In fact, this whole garden is gonna get a ton of Beaverton. Okay. And then this is the big drill that I brought, and it's I need both hands for this one. But this is the one that I like to use to like start our pilot hole for any of our big trees. So I'll make sure to link the details down below for you guys. But I have a big auger today. Now this is very hard clay, so we're gonna put it to the test.
We're gonna try.
We're gonna try. If not, we might need to bust out the shovels, which nobody likes anymore.
We'll invite friends to come dig a hole.
Yeah, we're gonna have a dig party. So if any of you are local, come on by. So I think we're gonna go right over here because that gives us a little bit more room that way. And it gives us plenty of room for it to grow out this way, back and front. So let's go right here. Ready?
Yeah.
Are there any lines over here? Do you know?
No, it's further down that way.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. When you're using a power planter, just be aware of like what's underneath. For this, you kind of want to go with a wide stance, and then you're kind of leaning a little bit forward, and then you go.
Do you want me to get the hose?
Yeah, maybe.
And like mist it or something?
Yeah, it's so...
I told you it was hard.
It's very hard. This is very hard clay. Holy mole. I think we'll continue with the auger. I totally underestimated that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like this digs through our hole, or I mean our clay, but this is like rock hard. Okay, wait.
Do you want me to see if Dad can come over and dig?
Huh?
Do you want me to see if Dad can come over and
Well,
dig?
I feel like we just need to go with the shovel now. Why is this so freaking hard? No way. Like, why? Y'all, I underestimated this hole, okay? I underestimated this clay. Christine is almost crying because she can't do anything because her dad came over, saved by the dad. We're just adding some water into the hole, biotone starter fertilizer, and then we're gonna put in the tree. Move your foot. I got it.
There she comes.
Okay. Is it straight?
No.
No?
Needs to come back towards you.
Like this?
So towards the house, actually.
Like this? But look through over there.
Yeah, that's good this way.
Well, yeah, step in there, Al.
And now she needs to come towards the driveway.
Okay. Yep, go ahead.
Let go, Claudia. Maybe just a little bit more.
Towards the driveway?
Yeah. There.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is perfect. I think further back, it would have impeded over there. Any closer, it would have been tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect. I love it. All right, let's go over to the dahlias really quick. And I was laughing with Christine. I was like, this is going to be the survival garden, like survival of the fittest. If you really want to bloom, you're going to bloom. All right, it is heating up. So I want to quickly plant these dahlias and then I'm going to run home and grab more. I might come this weekend to plant them. Now these don't look as hot. Some of them are a little bit shriveled, but nonetheless, they are still nice and firm, which is what you want with dahlias. As long as they're nice and firm, it's fine. Now a lot of them do have these little growths on them. I don't like to leave those on there when I plant them. If they're short like this, that's fine. But when they're like long and spindly, I tend to remove them. This one will be fine. I've just always been taught that when you allow them to sprout from the ground, those stalks are going to be a lot stronger. So I'm gonna leave these. These are fine. And then any one that like is long like this, I'm just gonna break that off gently. And it will grow right back. I'm not worried about it at all. Same with this, like I wouldn't plant this like this. So I'm just gonna gently rock it back and forth and remove those. And these will still flower this year. However, I just need them for really tuber production is what I'm really after. You can see, look at how long these growths are. So poor things just need to get into the ground. All right, so here's the thing. These dahlias are going in really late. I think it's what, July 1st or 2nd. And so they are going in super late. But the key with dahlias is they need 100 days to bloom. So they're gonna have plenty of time because they will bloom all the way until our frost, which is usually like sometimes it's all the way in November. So they'll have plenty of time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant them super shallow. And as they start to grow, I will bring up the soil along their stalks. That way they're going to be nice and secure and they're not going to flop over. So I'm only going to plant them like 3 inches deep. and that's it. That will give them plenty of time again to grow. They really want to grow. You can see that they're putting on quite a bit of growth. And I'm just going to amend this bed, this whole bed here, just with Biotone. Just again, just to get them really going. I'm also going to plant them relatively close together. That way they can kind of support one another. And then we might come in with some stakes and stake them up. So I'm going to space them about 8 inches apart, and I would say about, oh, I don't know, maybe a foot in between each of the rows here. All right, so I think we got, what, 20 or 21? I lost count. A row right down here, and then another row right down here. I probably could have crammed in 3 rows, but we'll give them more space because we have plenty of other areas to come back and plant more. All right, guys, it is hot out here. Like, I don't know how some of you guys in California or on the East Coast where it's really, really hot, like, how do y'all do it? It is so hot right now, but we got it done and I'm so happy. I will say that auger saved our butts because this clay, I think I underestimated how compact it is, and it's going to just take a lot of amending over time, which is fine. At least we're able to get that pilot hole, and then when Christine's dad came out to help us dig the hole, that made it go by a lot faster. But boy, I was like, we're gonna get like 3 big trees in today, and I'm like, no, we're not. It's too warm. And I think even maybe like soaking the areas that we're going to be planting is going to help a bit, just until we can really come in with like a lot of compost and other amendments to get the soil broken up. But over the years, it's going to get there. It's just going to take time. I don't think anybody's planted anything in this garden for years and years and years. So everything is really like dense. But here is the Vanderwolf from the driveway. And it looks kind of funny. Like Christina and I were just like, they're going to think like these girls don't know what they're doing. It's just like 2 trees randomly placed, but there's a vision and you have to trust the vision, especially if you are doing this yourself and you're not, having a contractor come out or a landscaper designer come out and do everything all at one go. These things just take time. But if you have the vision and the patience, it's going to get there. And it's kind of how we started with our garden. When we leveled everything off and we started coming in with all of the trees, things will just start falling into place. So after we dug the hole, we did add in some of the Biotone starter fertilizer, and then I came in with Land and Sea, just tucked it around the root ball a bit, and then I covered the whole tree with the Land and Sea compost just to add more nutrients and more compost to the space. We got the tree watered in. We oriented it in the way that there's kind of like a blank space over here. So that's going to be facing outward here. And eventually that will grow in. I did talk to Christina about coming in with Eduardo, our arborist, at some point and having him prune and start shaping up all of her trees once we get more in the ground. Just because when you're looking at this Vanderwolf here, it's got good shape. However, this is really dense up here. Do you see how this branch probably just needs to come right out? Because this is almost like it's trying to be a leader. If I get in here, the tree forks off. So we want this to be the leader, and we need to remove this whole branch here. So when he comes in to prune things back and start shaping it up, he will thin it out. But you have to trust the process, because once you thin some of these trees out at a young age, they start to just grow properly. Again, one of the reasons why it's good to have a good arborist, even just to come in like the first couple of years of a new space and really think about how these trees are going to be growing and start shaping them up. That way there's no weird growth patterns as they get bigger over time. And if we look at it from this angle, you can see just having that in the ground, it already makes an impact on how this space is going to start shaping up and going to look like. And I think eventually when she even just comes in and removes some of this grass and start defining those beds, that's when you're really going to start to see a big difference. Just again, it takes time, it takes patience, but if you have the vision in mind, then things will really start falling into place. All right, and the dahlias are in. Now, you're not going to see any gratification or satisfaction right now, but you just have to, again, imagine them all coming up. I still have plenty of space to plant more over there. If we remove this chicken wire, it's here because she had bunnies eating all of her zinnias, all of her floret zinnias, but I think they sprayed and took care of them. So hopefully they're not going to be back. And then I have space right back there. And then all of this space over here. So after the holidays, after the 4th, I'll come back with some more dahlias to plant up in this space. And we have so much more space. If we need to till it, I think she's willing to let me till it. So we can just plant more dahlias in her garden. She's just doing this so she can drag me out here because she misses me so much. That's the real reason. She's like, that's right. All right, guys, that will wrap it up for today's project. I'm so happy that we're able to plant in that new Vanderwolf and just to start seeing like this garden take shape and see Christine's vision. It's going to be so much fun. And we'll definitely bring you guys back if we're going to be doing more projects here, but it's just going to take some time. And we have a lot of big dreams for this area, and it's going to be beautiful once, you know, we really get the ball rolling on everything. But they just moved in, so there's just, you know, whenever you move in, there's so much to do in the house and just trying to get your footing, you know, in a new space. So it's all wonderful, and I'm very, very excited for them and for me because I get to come back all of the time. Anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. I can't wait to keep you guys updated on how this garden takes shape, and I will see you guys in our next video. Bye-bye.